Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second webinar of Creative Resilience Training. I want to thank Veterans Voice Radio for giving me the chance to do this for everybody. I hope to learn just as much from you as you learn from me. What this webinar is about is the way I do art. And I do my art in what they call Pointillism, which is all dots. And over the years, the past 3 years is when I've really devoted my time into it. And it has made a difference mentally and physically on me by using this as a creative outlet. I was a officer for 31 years. And in that 31 years, a lot of you have gone through some of the same stuff that I have, unfortunately. But I had put my art on hold for almost 40 years. My kids didn't know I could draw. And when I got back into it, I just leaped in with both feet. I thought I could just pick up a pen and start drawing again like it did, 35, 40 years ago. No, it's not like riding a bike. I couldn't draw a straight line if my life depended on it. So I started devoting more time to it, and it helping me to cope with the PTSD and opening my eyes to so much more around me and helping with my anxiety. And I hope through this, and we walk through this path together, that it will help you just as much as it helped me. Sorry, lost my train of thought there. The cat's down at my feet and he's, being a pain. Anyway, so all the class consists of is anybody asking questions, please. If you have any questions, please ask. Ask anything. And I will give you an answer. And if I don't have an answer, I'll make one up. So, but for the class, this webinar, all you need is paper and a pen. That's all it takes. And opening your mind to your creativity and losing yourself in this. I mean, when I get into working on mine, I get lost. I can realize that I've been doing this for 8 hours straight. I haven't eaten, haven't gotten up, but it doesn't seem like it was 8 hours of sitting there and drawing, because it's so calming for me. I don't have the TV on because it's a distraction. I don't it, it doesn't bother me if somebody's watching me draw. As soon as I come back up here, it's never bothered me. It's if people get something out of me standing there or sitting there drawing, and I love talking to people. I've never met a stranger. And anybody, as long as they'll stand there and listen. So onward here. if you stop and think about everything that we've gone through being a law enforcement or a veteran or a first responder, we're the only jobs where we run towards danger, not away from it. Do I miss the job? No. It wasn't like when I started 31 years ago. I loved putting my uniform on and going out and crushing crime and suppressing evil. But the tides turned, and it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth putting my family through it anymore. It broke up my marriage. I missed so much with my two boys. It just, I had to stop. So in 2019, besides it taking a huge toll on me mentally and physically, I just called it quits. I was done. And at first, I didn't know what to do with my time. And so I was doing my art, but not like I do it now. And so I jumped back into it. It took me about 6 months to realize how and what I wanted to use as a medium. And once I did, to this day, I still push myself. I want to become better, branch out and try different things. I have a 3D printer, which is sitting right here. It was running most of the day, which is fun. I mean, it's just another creative outlet for me. I'm trying to bring some of my art from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional, but it's not as easy as it looks. So with Pointillism, 3 years ago, I started using the dots just as shading. And it got to the point where the shading was so beautiful that I decided to start doing entire pictures of dots. And in that time, I ended up having 3 books published. They're all on Amazon under Unexplainable Art. There's 2 books of just nothing but my drawings, and the 3rd book is a coloring book. And I spent 156 hours drawing 40 hand-drawn pictures for my coloring book. It was a labor of love. I mean, it took a long time, but it was worth every second of me doing it. Is it a big seller? No. But it was very satisfying and it was a victory over some of the stuff that had bothered me all these years and helped me to deal with it and get beyond it. Like I said, doing the pointillism and doing the drawings has opened my eyes, and I see things more clearly. And so will you. Once you get into it, you'll realize, and not everybody draws the same. As far as I'm concerned, everybody can draw. Art is subjective. I'm not here to judge anybody else's art. And times, and I'm completely froze up. There we go. So I just go on about doing what I'm doing. Just because somebody says something negative about what I'm doing or what you're getting into, doesn't matter. I just chalk it up as somebody that's jealous that they don't have the capability. So that was another thing. Before I started getting into this and really concentrating and putting my focus into this, it did make me mad. And I was quick to temper. Not anymore. Mess with my family or friends, that's a different story. But as far as somebody criticizing the work that I do or making the comments that they do, that doesn't bother me. Not at all. You know, I'll look at them and go, "Well, if you can teach me something, a new technique, here's paper and pencil. Please show me to help me improve and become a better artist." Of course, I always get, "I don't need to prove myself," or this, that, and the other, and they just walk away. Kill them with kindness. So, again, I can't emphasize enough how much it's like a weight being lifted. It's something so simple can become something so powerful in your life that it changes your perspective on things. It's calming anxiety, helps with depression, anger, and I I, I would like to challenge everybody who watches and does this. Set aside 1 hour a day just for yourself. Listen to music or go find a quiet area to work in. Um, Go to the library. You know, if it's nice enough, sit outside because once it's nice out, I'm outside drawing all the time. That's where I spend my time drawing. And, set aside an hour and just immerse yourself into it. Take some deep breaths and just go with it. If you just draw a circle, that's fine. But the repetitiveness of doing the dots, and I will show here in a little bit how actually easy it is and how quickly it can turn something so mundane into something that leaps off the page. Um, it's and doodling. If I've got many drawing pads that are just full of nothing but doodles, and a lot of times my doodles turn into pictures. Let me pull one up here. This is nothing but a doodle, and this is what it turned out being. Oh, froze up. It's not letting me use. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm looking really bad tonight again, and it's not responding. Hear me and see me. I'll show you what doodling into. Use the word doodling. It's still pages on. Come on. Okay. I'm back. Hopefully, people that were watching will come back too. Uh, Let me get the extra camera up here, if it'll let me. There we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Like I was saying, let's see if it will let me bring up one of my doodles here. I put a bunch of pictures already. Let's see here. Nope. As soon as it refreshed the page, it got rid of all of them. Sorry about that. God, what a bummer that is. Sorry, now that it rebooted and it took all the pictures away that I had done. Um, so anyway, we'll get into a little bit of the drawing here. And like I said, you don't have to have anything fancy. These are some of the pens that I use, and they're anywhere from a 003 to a 10. And I brought mostly bigger pens in here so you can see it easier as we progress here. So we'll start off. I just drew a little box here, and that's the wrong one. It will. I'm going to show you how to just do the quick shading just by using the dots and how much of a difference it makes. So you have to determine where your light source is coming from: the top, from the bottom, from the left, the right. And I'm going to determine that the light's coming from the right. So of course, this part is going to be darker. And what you do is, of course, it'll be darker down here. I suppose you can't see it real quick, and because I did the wrong side. Anyway, as you can see, and nothing but the dots. And the little trick to it is just saturate it more with the dots. And it's funny, when I love to listen to music when I'm doing this as well. And a lot of times I will do dots to the beat of the song. But because the light's coming from this way. And you just keep working it. And you don't have to be this fast at it. The only reason I am is so there's no dead time, and people that are participating or watching don't have to go, geez, I'm going to watch him do dots for the next 25 minutes. No. Plus, I've gotten pretty proficient at it over the last 3 years. And one thing, I don't know about you, but when I started out doing this, I didn't realize how heavy-handed I was. And I destroyed more fine tip markers because I thought, well, the harder I press, the better the saturation. That isn't it at all. So you just keep saturating, but once you start getting close to the top, of course, it's going to start to get lighter. And if you're following along with me, you don't have to make a box. You can make a circle, you can make a square, you can make a rectangle, uh, you know, anything you want. And like I said, art is subjective. You create it and take in whatever you decide to do. It doesn't Da Vinci. It's just make it your own. I mean, I've got artists that have been inspirations for me, but do I draw like them? No, I don't. I made it all my own. But as you can see, once you get close to the top, some of the light source will be as dark towards the top. And all I'm doing is just backing off on the saturation of the dots. Sorry, dead air there. Didn't mean to. And it's just as simple as that. And I mean, don't make it harder than it actually is. The repetitiveness, it will come. Uh, and sometimes you might just have an epiphany. Once in a while, I do. Um, when I have uh, oh, that's why. And the page is not responding again. Okay, great. I know what I did wrong. Sorry. As soon as I get. I know what. Thanks, Don. I know what I did wrong, but it's starting to. It's going to end up kicking me out here again. Hopefully not. I just got to get to the right thing here. Here we go. I had it on the wrong thing. As soon as it switches here we go. There's one. And this is just done on a black canvas with markers. And it started out just to be a doodle. And then I made the eye in the center of it. Let's see if I can find more of them here. If you can see him, Don, mine's still not showing up here. If you can pull, if you can see him, do you see the one that's just all, it looks like a, I don't know, it's all these colors that kind of spiral out. That one's also, there. If you want to just scroll through them, that's fine. This is all done with watercolors, or not watercolors, sorry, permanent marker. If you want to bring, there we go. Here's some of the ones with my pointillism. Of course, it's Freddie Mercury. Obviously, I'm wearing Queen right now, so Clint Eastwood, and that's from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. There's Freddie again. Boris Karloff as Frankenstein. Marilyn Monroe. Like I need to explain to who these are. This is just a steer skull that I did, and it's all in dots. Vincent Price. And obviously, it takes me quite a while to do some of these. Thanks. That'll be good, Don, for now. Thank you very much for pulling me out, out of the fire there. So, another thing you can do when you get lost with doing the dots is, like I said, doodling. And one of the things I do is I try to practice and come up with different patterns of certain things, because a lot of times I don't put a background in, as you could see with my drawings, because I think the drawings stand alone. But sometimes I need to put something in the background. So I came up with, I call it crosshatch. And this is just a plain square that I did. And a lot of people, when they see it, they ask me if I use a ruler. No, I don't. Not on any of my stuff, do I? So when I do the crosshatch, you'll see it goes from just this plain box, and how much it'll, I need a bigger one here. It'll make it stand out, and it makes it look like it's coming off the page. Like I said, I don't use a ruler. I'm sorry. I'll move this a lot to be able to work with it. And there's no rhyme or reason to where I put them, how many lines I put in. There are some times when I'm doing this, especially a commission piece, if I do something like this behind it, I will count like there'll be 8 lines, 8 lines, 8 lines, 8 lines to keep it. Um, I guess it's just for my benefit. Nobody really counts counts them. They just are amazed how something so simple can turn a picture around. And like I said, it's the creativeness and the euphoria I get from it just takes all the pressures of the day away. Uh, I feel better about myself, about my surroundings, about my relationships with people. And like I've said so many other times, and I'll keep saying it, it it opens your eyes and your mind to more around us and in a positive way. It me and doing my art, there's nothing negative about it. Everything turns out to be positive, satisfying, and of the accomplishment that you get when you sit down and you create something. And I still, after all these years, go, um, sorry, I got to plug the computer in. There's times that it still just amazes me some of the stuff that I still come up with. I'll get done with something and go, wow, that's way better than I expected it to, to be. And drawn into what you're doing, no pun intended. Well, maybe there was. You you just want to keep doing it because it makes you feel so good. And like they say, if you do something for 30 days, it becomes habit. So please, I can't. Oh, I got bumped. There we go. And just start doodling. Just start doing the pointillism. Like I said, draw a box, draw a tree. Trees are easy to draw. Actually, on the next webinar I'll do, make it come to life, actually. And if anybody wants a certain picture that they want to work on with me, just let me know. And we can work on it together is one of my goals that I hope that this happens, that enough people will, get the word around that this does make a difference. I- I've I wouldn't be doing this if it didn't. What you see is what you get. And Veterans Voice Radio approaching me and asking me to do this is an amazing thing. Oh, helping out others is how I was raised. And it's really of us and we shoulders and just letting everything go and making something out of nothing. I've done nothing but put little boxes and stuff here, and yet they turn out to be something. So I'll keep talking and do this at the same time. But I'm hoping that the word gets around, word of mouth gets out, going, hey, there's this big bald-headed tattooed guy on Veterans Voice Radio that does a webinar on creative resilience training. And I'm not an expert. I'm still learning myself. I push myself, what I do, and be better. How fast can I draw the lines? I can actually do it quite quickly, and it's because, well, the story behind why I started doing this is senior year in high school, we were supposed to do a portrait of ourselves. And when I did the portrait of myself, I had no facial features. I had my glasses and that was it. I just wear these now to draw or to see or read. I don't need them any other time. And so I did the crosshatch to finish off my self-portrait. Well, my art teacher gave me an F because he said I didn't complete the assignment. So I went and the the principal and a couple other people. Needless to say, long story short, I ended up gotten an F, especially in art. I'm not one to buck the system, but he was wrong. I was right. And you just keep filling it in. And as you can see, as I'm going along, it changes the whole perspective of the picture, just like it will change you and me. It's I'm trying to put this as articulate, yeah, trying to put it as best as I can. It makes my life easier, and I'm hoping it does the same for you. I and if there's any questions, email me. Um, you can find me on Facebook under Unexplainable Art because that's what I call my art, because I do it to become a better person. I don't have this big epiphany on when I do a drawing. Sometimes th- they do have a lot more meaning than others, but a lot of times people go, oh, what's the big inspiration? Why'd you do this? Because I thought it was cool. So I drew it. But the thing is, what I've drawn over the years, there's something that I've done that appeals to everybody, which makes me even feel better about myself and the time and the effort that I put into this to become a better rounded person and to help with the inner demons, if to coin a phrase. It's like opening a whole new door and a breath of fresh air and starting over again. And it's possible to start over. I've done it more than once in my life, but it was struggles with the other ones. Once I started accomplishing it as it being work, because it's not. I've done started a picture and looked at it and went, wow, that's really bad. And so I'll just make it really something completely different than what I started out making it as. And I just make a joke out of it because I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. If you can't laugh at yourself, and I laugh at myself quite a bit. Plus, I talk to myself. My girlfriend's always going, who are you talking to? Me? Stop it. I tell her I'm the only one that listens. So, anyway, just about done with this. And then you'll see how something so simple turn this plain white square into something completely different. And it makes it actually gives it depth, gives it dimension. And it's not like I took, 30 minutes to do it. It took longer than usual because I'm talking as I do it. But there, that's it. And all it is just a bunch of lines crisscrossing each other. Something just as simple as that. It's just like the dots. Get it in the right spot. Turn it around so it's the right way. But the dots just make a difference. And of course, if I finished it, it would come out this way still, and it'd be dark because the light's coming from the other side. The repetitiveness will help with your focus way more than you would think. Something so easy or so simple, as putting a dot on a paper. It is euphoric, and it changes. It'll change you and your perspective on things. And like I said, it opens your eyes. You'll see things more creatively, more clearly, and how beautiful things are out there, not this dark, dreadful way that we can all make a difference. And I'm hoping by me doing this helps everyone who watches the class or um, watches me or takes something out of it and uses it for a positive, because I'm doing this all for positive. There's nothing negative about it. I'm here to help whoever I can. Like I said, it was the way I was raised, and I don't, whether you believe in God or not, I do, and I live by the anagram joy. Jesus first, others second, yourself last. And it's made me a better person and made me happier by doing this. And granted, it took me 40 years to use my college degrees, but Veterans Voice Radio and God has said, here you go. This is, and I can't thank Veterans Voice Radio enough, again, for giving me the opportunity to do this twice a month and spend time with everybody. And hopefully it'll grow and grow, and we'll have even more past doing this. I can't I can't even tell you enough on how cool it is to be helping somebody with something that I basically created to help me, the trauma and such that I had to deal with. And I can't wait to hear some, you know, testimonies from other people that have followed me and have started doing this and see how much it's done for them. Because I'm going to keep doing this as long as they'll keep me around. You know, look at me. And look at, I got a voice for radio. So again, just set aside um, an hour a day. Take a few deep breaths. Take a pencil, a pen, a piece of paper, and just go with it. Just do what you feel. Let it go. Let the burdens go and create and have you see things differently. And I do. I mean, some of the stuff I draw, people are like, whoa, but that's the way it's been over the years. So I'm, still going to keep doing this and still try to better myself and help other people. And this is not a lot, but I do get commissioned art shows. In fact, I've got one coming up There we go. Um, like I said, s somebody will ask who the artist is as I'm drawing. Hopefully, I can make it the next 9 minutes without losing you guys again. But inevitably, somebody will come up every show, "Who's the artist?" "Really? It's me." I just tell 'em like so, you have to have like I said, if you can't laugh at yourself, you know, then why bother? I find humor in everything. I find beauty in everything, and I'm hoping with the techniques that I'm showing on the webinars will have an impact on you as much as it did on me. Just do it. That's that's all I did was I just set my mind to it going, I've got to change things in my life and make it better for me and everybody else around me. Because negativity doesn't solve anything. Negative thoughts bring negative lost my train of thought. Negative thoughts brings negative actions. And why? Positive thoughts bring around positive things. It's not a hard thing to do. At first it is, but it gets easier and it's just from the art that I've created over the last 3 years. And I just want to be able to do this and relate to everybody else out there that has gone through the same thing that I have. And hopefully, a little piece of this will make a difference in somebody else's life. I'm I can't say enough how much it's changed for me, and it's something so simple as just creating and doing what I do. And like I said, art's subjective. Draw whatever you want. You know, it doesn't you can do I also do this too. If I get this here. And one of the things I did when I was waiting for the show to start, can I get it on there? Where's it at? Where's it at? That little one there is I just made a square and made depth to it. Looks like a ice cube tray. But you can, you don't there's a lot of times I don't think about what I'm going to do or put down on the paper. It just comes to me. I'll sit down, grab that paint and go, yeah, I'll try this. Does it always work out? No, but it's calming. It makes a difference. It and people will see the So I keep getting bumped. So kind of come to the end here before it kicks me out all the way. Again, thank you for coming, listening to me. Hopefully, this has made a difference for some people and you will try it out. You'll come back for more of it. I'll be back in 2 weeks for the next installment. I can talk and talk. I'll fill in the time. Hopefully it's entertaining at the same time. But again, thank you very much. Who came and participated and watched tonight, and hopefully you've taken something positive from this and tried to apply it to yourself. I want to thank Veterans Voice Radio again. I can't say enough for them. They're amazing what they're doing, and I'm blessed to be a part of it, and I hope to be a part of it for a very long time. So, like I end when I used to have my other podcasts and stuff, I end my shows the same way. A hug and a smile go a long ways, and it can make a difference in somebody's life. And it's positive. There is nothing negative about it. So please remember that there are people out there just like you and me that goes unnoticed, but we notice them. Okay? So I want to thank everybody again for being here. I will see you all in 2 weeks. And have a wonderful weekend. Take care, everybody, and be blessed.